so excited to come to you today with something very different and very new. And I want to share it not because I'm an expert or because I've lived through a great experience, but mostly because it's new, but very exciting. New, not to the world, but new to me. So let me tell you what I'm talking about. I am not an expert by any means in astrology. Matter of fact, I'm pretty darn dense. I've had my chart done. People have talked to me about the houses and the sun and the this and the that, and I don't retain any of it. I do know that I'm a Cancer. That makes sense. I also know, as a caveat, that there are some people in different communities that fear black magic or fear the devil's work. And I want to say that what I'm bringing you today, that is time sensitive because you're getting this on August 7th, and the height of the possibility is tomorrow, August 8th, but we're not done then yet. So it goes on until August 22nd, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. But if you're not open to any of this, don't bother listening. But if you would like something safe, something exciting, that could change your energy, that could open you to more understanding, more possibility, more, what shall we say, potential, more alignment. Alignment is a big word. And so what am I talking about? Okay, this period between July 23rd and August 22nd is called Lionsgate. And it's referred to as the lion because at a certain time, it looks like a lion crouching when the stars and let's see, how does it go? Where the stars are lined up with the earth and the sun. So you see, I get a little verklempt every time I talk anything astrological, and I'm not going to go any deeper than that. So those of you who are already experts will know more about this, but I'm going to talk to you a little bit differently about Lionsgate. The potential is the same. It is a time when what does alignment mean? The human with the divine. It has been thought since ancient times that there is a kind of energy now. It's a kind of time when, there are certain places in the world that hold a vortex. I have a list here: Stonehenge, Machu Picchu, the Great Pyramid, Sedona, Himalayas, and on and on. What I want to say is, if you're doing some intensive contemplation, if you're looking for answers in life, a connection with your purpose, a connection with the divine, one can go to these places and get help in the sense of expediting energy. And I am one that can attest that you can go to those places and nothing can happen that we're aware of. So if you're not conscious of looking, and you could be making up a story. I'm going to tell you some stories of things that happened to me. And you could say, well, it would have happened anyway. You don't need Lionsgate. It doesn't matter. But if you go with, let's say, to one of these places, to these vortexes, with an energy that you're looking for answers, you're looking for an openness, you will be very aware of what you receive. And does it matter if someone says, well, that had nothing to do with the mountain or whatever, it doesn't actually matter. So let me tell you a story first. Something happened unbidden. I'm still not into astrology, but this is a period since April, actually. I started letting things go, resigning from important things without a reason. I know people in the groups assign their own reasons, and everybody's free to make meaning out of things. But I resigned not knowing what's next or not knowing if anything's next. I was open to retiring and not doing any of these things, but it has not become clear or even clearer until this time of Lionsgate. And then someone was teaching Lionsgate and said, come, please join us. It's happening now. And I went, it's happening now, whether I understand it or not. Lionsgate is happening to me. So one of the biggest stories I had, and I would say I was flattened in energetically, in appreciation, in gratitude beyond anything I had ever experienced. And it had a kind of story. I didn't know this person who invited me or asked for permission to have my book on his book list. And I didn't know him. So, this day of scams, had to check on him. Are you who you say you are? All those steps, which I won't go into here. And you can imagine my surprise when he wrote, I don't know how many pages, 5 or 6 pages, maybe, I'm guessing, but with a detail and a brilliance and an attuned heart to all of the messages that I wish to deliver. He even understood the writing of why I chose a fable to discuss non-duality. So that was a gift in itself, an unbidden, long explanation of the takeaways, how someone can use the book, a teaching about the book. The writing is extraordinary, and his self is in it. It's not just she said this and she said that. I mean, I couldn't even ask my dearest friends or my sister or anybody, my children, to write something like that to that degree. So this was given to me. And here's the other part. This put me over the top. I couldn't move. I couldn't write a thank you letter. I was so verklempt, if you will, with that word, that he put it on a list with books like Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl, and so many of all of my most serious teaching books, my most beloved books of all time are listed in this book. On his website, it's called Elevate Society.com. This beautiful gentleman's name is Tal Gur, Gur. I'll put it in the email if you'd like to look at it. But things like this don't happen every day. And for an author, what we're taught is to chase after this, like you're lucky if you're a bestseller and get the right publisher. And, it's a dream to be, on the shelves of this store and to be noted. I mean, I can't explain it. You're doing all these things, and then something comes when you didn't do anything and you didn't even know there's this list. If I had known this list existed, I probably would have said, I'd rather be on that list than be a bestseller. So this has been a teaching, not just about things arrive when they're going to arrive. I used to say when I was in private practice and had a waiting list of all the right number of people, in the sense that when I wanted to work more, I had more clients. When I wanted to work less, I had less clients. It was perfect. But I did know marketing, and I didn't get educated in that city. I had no connections. I was new. And I always said, if I had done any marketing, I would have believed it was the marketing that brought me the clients. So what does this have to do with you? This is just a story about anything can happen to you. And not everything might be a big yes, like this was. I had something happen to me which I would not have noticed, probably if I wasn't appreciating Lion's Gate. Did I tell you why we call it a Lion's Gate? I think I said that we've seen at a certain time of the summer in this period, the lion looks like it's crouching. But did I tell you that lions represent strength, courage, and wisdom? And why wisdom? Sometimes lions do nothing, they rest. And there's a certain sentence that's known to be described about lions. When the lion faces obstacles too big, when the cost feels too high, even the most dominant lion backs down, not from weakness, but from wisdom. And so I'm going to save another story for you, the end. That's not, oh, look, abundance, everything comes my way, I'm so lucky, just open to the star. No, it's not that kind of story. I want you, if you're willing, do you want another energy than the one that you have right now? I talked to a man yesterday who is in couples therapy, marriage therapy, and he is so angry with his wife. He doesn't want to feel better. At this particular moment, he wishes to hold that energy. You and I have all been there. We were feeling righteous. This shouldn't have happened. I was wronged. People need to know. She needs to say she's sorry. But if you're in this place with someone or something, you don't need to change that to make use of Lion's Gate. Acknowledge, I don't want to let this go. I know I'm in therapy acting like we're supposed to let this go, but I'm not ready. But would you show me what my life would be like if I didn't hold that energy? Would you give me a glimpse? I went to sleep with resentment, and I stopped right there. I caught myself over a huge lot of people that were coming, and I was getting caught, and this one's a vegetarian, and that one doesn't eat this, and this one eats healthy. And I went, wait, I don't know no. I know better than this. But I really, at that moment, didn't have a better way. And I was tired. And I went to sleep. And do you know what I dreamed? I dreamed that Lady Diana was visiting. Now you might think logically, oh, I'd have to make more fuss and I'd have to be more anxious and resentful and triggered and this and no, I was pure excitement that I was going to get to see Lady Di and that of course I would give her my best and do my best, but it wasn't about the food. And it was just pure excitement. And can you feel how my heart was open in that case? And it was, I can rely on that dream at any point. If I start to get high strung about better go buy this and better do that, and this one needs this and that kind of beer and that kind of wine or a cocktail or no drinks or what, if I get in there, I can remember Lady Di's visit. So it's not it's about the questions that you ask, and it's not a to-do. Don't try to follow what I did. This is a time of huge openness, and that is the point of this. If there's a teaching, it's that Lion's Gate opens up all the rules. If you thought you have to be logical about what you would like, that's off the table. If you've talked yourself out of things that you like or would want, that's off the table. This is a time you get to dream, but even more, you get to receive. And one caveat here is that people often use Lion's Gate to manifest, to get more, to ask the divine for stuff. And there's nothing wrong with stuff, but it's not the end all. And it's usually a representative, a personality representative of the experience you want. So let's say I knew there was this list of great books. I would have wished to be on that list. But is the list actually going to give me anything? No, it just gave me, I mean, yes, it's lovely. Yes, but what I wanted was what I received. It was a feeling. And this is coming on Melissa's birthday, which is on the 9th of August. It was a feeling, Melissa, you and I accomplished what we set out to do with When Wisdom Arrives. Look at what this gorgeous man, Tal Gur, received. I know many people loved the book. Many of you wrote beautiful reviews. But there was something about the length and the time that this stranger took, meaning he's no longer a stranger, he's a beloved, but I didn't know him. And the time that he took, he has his reasons for writing this list. But what I received, I can feel without the list. That must have been something missing from me, that we'd actually done it. Because in book sales, you can always sell more. I sold more this last quarter than I did the first quarter, just because it was in something recommended for mental health. So there was a plug somewhere. But that is not, book sales do not give the feeling that check, you're done, you accomplished it. There book sales, there's always more. But instead, I could have received that from book sales or bestsellers or any time. I didn't know, I didn't quite feel the 100% check mark. It's done. I can die tomorrow and feel, yes, we passed on. Melissa and I passed on what was in our hearts to share. So I'm not telling you how to do this. I'm asking you to be open to investigate. If you want a Lamborghini, or you want those shoes, or you want a new house, or you want your husband to stop yelling at you, or you want your brother to be, it doesn't matter what you want. It's okay to want it, but ask yourself what it would give you. And see if that's available. Is it a feeling like Melissa and I done it? We didn't need the list. The list is lovely. Is the list going to get me anything? Not anything that matters, right? Let me ask you one more question before I leave you. And then I do want to show you a different story to end. What would it take for you to hold more love or more money? So if it were love or money, you might say, well, no, bring it on. I love love and I love money. Yeah, but if you have any attitudes about money, it's for other people. Rich people do this or that. Look at the people in government that are billionaires and blah, blah. If you have any thoughts like that about money, do you think there's room for more money in you? Might that need to clear out? Anything old that maybe your parents had about the rich people, or maybe you shouldn't want more because you already have enough. So you know what I mean, I think. What would anything need to change about love? So you might say, I want my brother to be more loving. I believe you, but can I hold on to my anger about my brother and what he's done in order to receive more love from my brother or maybe anyone else? So that's kind of deep, but I hope it is relevant to somebody. And I'll leave you with the final story to show you, be open to way the earth and the sun and the stars are, because they are anyway. It's just a willingness to see if you can work with it more to enhance your presence, to enhance your alignment, to enhance your satisfaction or excitement about being alive. So the last little story I think is so humorous, because most of you know that I've been known as an Enneagram expert, and I've been trying to understand human design because it's the current rage and so many people know about it. I'm a generator, manifester generator, but some things on these free protocols have not been the same. So I can't really get an accurate, they all say I'm a manifester generator, but they don't agree on certain of the numbers, and that changes everything. And I cannot get an answer. I must have, during several months, tried it 12 different places, and something always happens, or I get a 3-5 and another protocol says I'm a 1-4 profile. You don't need to know what that means, but in case you do, this is the difference. And then I get this man, mostly people don't answer, you can't reach anyone. And he's very snippy with me. And AI is also kind of snippy because it's sure I'm a 1-4 and this man was sure I'm a 3-5. And it's all about your date of when you were born. And I'm born at 7:06. I have a birth certificate. I'm born in New York City. There's nothing questionable except did one of the profiles not account for daylight savings time? But here's the thing. I don't think I'm supposed to be learning this in the sense of this is not ever going to be my thing. I'm 78 years old. It took me ages to get to where I am with the Enneagram. It's not likely that I'm going to learn something as profound as human design. That's the logical part of me, which I was not getting until nothing I did worked. So if Lionsgate is supposed to show you next steps, it's shown me something big, big, big on the Enneagram, which I'm going to need energy for if I'm going to create it. I can't be over here trying to learn human design. I mean, I could. This is not about a yes or a no or a can or a can't. It's just how are you aligned right now with the world, with Mother Nature, with the divine, with the beloved, with your purpose, your soul. So I'm going to leave you with that story so you can see everything's a gift, even the yeses, even the nos, even the unsexy work that says, ooh, look at all the anger I still have, or look at my judgment about the people who waste their money or do this or that with money. It's not fun to see those things in yourself or whatever it is you're seeing. But welcome it all and get back to me if this is fun for you, and let me know because I'm having a blast. Bye for now.